G'day guys, Matt here from Not in the Manual. I wanted to do this video today just before Christmas to firstly just thank you guys for being some loyal subscribers and watching my videos. You know, it's almost been a year since I started the channel. I've been super happy. It's done so much better than I expected it to do. I didn't really think that a lot of people would want to watch my videos, and yeah, I couldn't be happier. And I really feel like I've been helping people and teaching people, sharing the knowledge. You know, it's not, a lot of it's not rocket science, but there's just not a great deal of information out there, and I just wanted to be a part of it and really just help everyone understand this car and EVs in general, and maybe just share some of the experience and explain some things, and hopefully I've been able to do that. And judging by your comments, there's a lot of appreciation out there, and I'm very humbled by that. I'm really happy to be able to help. And I mean, that's what I've done all my working life, and what I still do to this day with technical support, and I really enjoy helping people out and teaching people about things that I am passionate about myself. So I really just love sharing that information. So yeah, I've been really happy to be able to do that with you guys, and thank you for coming along for the ride this year. And yeah, I just wanted to say that it's the end of the year. It's time to relax, even though I just got back from a 2-week holiday in Thailand, but Jetstar made that a pretty stressful trip back, and which I won't bore you with all the details, but yeah, it wasn't a nice end of the holiday having to go through that and really struggle, and taking sort of 2 days to get home instead of you know, an 8 or a 9 hour flight. So yeah, but anyway, had a pretty busy week at work this week. And yeah, I've had some other issues which I'll go through with you on the drive when we look at some of the other features of this update. So I thought, yeah, a little bit late, but I might just run through the latest update and what was in that, and I'll try and keep it pretty brief. I wasn't overly excited about this update when it first came through. For me, a couple of things I would have wanted to see would be passenger profiles for the seat settings. That would have been great. Yeah, we've been waiting on a few other things. You know, it's just one of those things that, yeah, there's a lot of parts of these Christmas updates that people will like and find useful, and other things that people won't find. So, you know, there's going to be sort of mixed opinions on this. So yeah, let's get into it and have a look. So we will go to the software section, go to release notes. Now we have the standard release notes here, and then we have the undocumented release notes. So of course the big one was Apple Music. That doesn't really, when I got the Tesla, you know, obviously Spotify is the main sort of music streaming service in the car. I had Apple Music, our family had Apple Music. I had one of my daughters pestering me for Spotify, to get Spotify Premium for her, and I'd never really used Spotify much at all. I mean, I don't really care where the music comes from, and that didn't bother me too much, but we had a family plan for Apple Music. We shared through, you know, our Apple devices, and we were sharing that family plan for Apple Music. And yeah, basically when I got this car, I thought, well, I'm happy to get Spotify now, because that'll make it, you know, much more simple in the car. And my other daughters were happy to change to Spotify as well. My wife wasn't really too fussed either, like me. And yeah, so we then just cancelled our Apple Music subscription and just went with Spotify. And to be honest, I've been pretty happy with Spotify. I don't know, I don't really care where the music comes from, as long as I can access the music I like to listen to. And I've got quite a varied taste in music. You know, I like something with a good beat. I like, you know, listening to a good voice. I don't mind electronic music. I don't mind punk rock. Like, I've got, depends what mood I'm in, and it's quite good. I'll often sort of flick through all these different styles that I listen to until I find something that sort of hits the spot and is perfect for the mood I'm in. So I often chop and change. But yeah, it's great. So for all those people with Apple Music that love Apple Music, this would be a pretty good update for them. What I wanted to do, I got this update at the beginning of the week, and I just wanted to use it for a little while and work out what what I like and don't like about it. So we can go through that, but we might just run through everything here and then I'll go through those in a bit more detail. Dog mode, this is a bit funny because we already had dog mode. It's a bit of a funny heading here for the release note, but basically it just means you've got a camera in dog mode now, and also just in general live sentry mode. When sentry mode is on, you can now view through the interior camera, and I'll overlay some footage here of that. That's not a self-explanatory. Through the mobile app you can now look at that interior camera in the car. So that's pretty straightforward. Scheduled light show. Yeah, light show hasn't really ever done much for me, but now if you want to synchronize a heap of cars together now and run the light show together, you can schedule the light show. So, while we're here, that was another one, Rainbow Road. You can always have it on with autopilot. So if you're a Mario Kart fan, like me, I love a good game of Mario Kart with my kids. And yeah, you can now have the Rainbow Road always on. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Gets annoying after a while, but it actually looks pretty cool. So it only comes on while autopilot is engaged and you've got the blue sort of tram lines running down. So light show, you can schedule a show here. All pretty. You can pick which light show. There is now this new one here, Old Lang Syne. But if you have a USB plugged into the car with some light shows on it, then that would be great. I've never really done that myself before. If anyone wants me to do a video on that, I think you just log into, go onto the GitHub website. There's a tutorial there, and the files are there to create a USB to plug into the car. So you can now schedule it for particular times, and you can schedule a heap of cars all to do it at the same time if you wanted to have some sort of synchronized light display, or I don't know. For me, that's not useful for me. I don't really use the light show. It's something I show everyone every now and again, but yeah, I don't really need it to be synchronized with a heap of other cars. So anyway, you've got a few more settings there. You can now do the volume, which I'm not sure whether you could sort of preset the volume there before with that. So with these two different light shows, it still only writes Tesla on the wall. I'm not sure if you can get it to write other letters or not, but then climate control fan speed. So we have, you can now do low, medium and high when auto is engaged. If you turn off auto mode, you then have, the normal 10 increments there. I find this is quite good because sometimes, the auto fan can just go crazy if you forget to put the climate on before you get back to the car. That's fine. So you may as well have a quick look at that. You can see now I've got auto climate, and I now just have low, medium and high. That's fine. Just leave it on low when I'm doing the video. Actually, I'll turn off recirculate because that can be quite noisy in the video. But if you turn auto off, you then have your slider back with your 10 settings there. Put auto back on, it goes back to the low, medium and high modes. I don't know if you can turn that off or not if you don't like it, but I couldn't see a setting there for it. Automatic indicator mode. This is quite good, but I don't think was entirely necessary. So, I mean, I'd much rather the adaptive headlights be done instead of some of these things here. Instead of Apple Music, I would have rather than spend time and get the adaptive headlights going. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I might just, I'm going to go for a quick drive after this, so I might just demonstrate that while we're driving and show there. But it's pretty cool. It's just when you're merging or changing lanes, or merging, changing into a fork or something, junction. So you can just put your indicator on, do the lane change, and then don't need to cancel the indicator after that. So it's quite nice. Takes a bit of getting used to because you often forget and don't realise it's auto cancelling, and then you actually put the indicator on again when you go to cancel. Mahjong game, I'd never played it before, and I think this is what a Chinese game, a popular game in China. Yeah, it's just a matter of finding pairs, and you've got to free up tiles underneath, and it's actually quite relaxing to do it. It's quite a simple game. It's not a super strategic game. I mean, I only did it on the easy level, but yeah, it's just quite a relaxing thing, sort of like solitaire, matching pairs and things like that. So yeah, I found that quite good. Phone call transfer. So if you're actively on a call while you're walking to your car and you get in the car, or you're on the phone and one of your kids jumps in the car nearby, it doesn't automatically transfer to the car now. So you have an option of you have to there's a confirmation to do that before it will transfer to the car. So that'll be quite good in certain situations. You can now look up contacts. I'd never really done that before. I still use Siri. With my phone down here, I'll just say, it's probably going to ask me now, I just do the Siri prompt and then just say call whatever, or message whoever. I don't even use the message system within the car because I find it just doesn't understand accents other than American accents, and that's quite frustrating. So I just use the Siri messaging, doing that hands-free. Media controls, this is quite good. The media controls have now moved over to here. So if we go to Spotify, see, I actually minimize those cards, and now I don't know how to get them back. All right, that was easy. I worked that out. So we'll get rid of that. When you've minimized that card, it's down here now. That's that little music symbol. I saw that before. And so we've now got these cards back here. So we've got tire pressures. We've got these trips here. So if we go into trips here, you can tick the ones that you want to show in this card. So if we take trip A out, you can see it disappears from here. So you can customize that. I think you can just have the 4. So if I get rid of trip A, it then allows me to do trip B. If you're interested, nearly 22,500 Ks on here. I've used 3,255 kilowatt hours and 145 watt hours per kilometre. I'm trying to keep that trip B from the start with everything, and then just use trip A for particular trips where I just want to log for that. But because I use Teslafy, it's logging all my trips anyway, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, you can turn them all on and off from there. You've then got your media controls here as well, which is quite good because it just leaves this whole nav area, gives you a bigger nav area there. So I found that media controls over here quite good, but I'd use the steering wheel to go to the next songs and things anyway. So that's all there. It's nice having the tire pressures and the odometer back. Everyone's been wanting that back after that version 11 update. So it's only taken a year. So it was a year ago they got rid of all that. With this, they got rid of those cards. All right, so the next release note. All right, the next one is emissions testing. Now, I think this is funny to show people once, and that's it. I think if you had very young kids, I've got teenagers, they found it amusing the first time we did the fart emissions mode, and then when one of their friends comes in the car for the first time, they like to show them the emissions control and the car farting from different seats. So you can now do that from the phone. Yeah, I don't know. This is another one of those ones that's pretty useless to me. You can now do it from the app. So if we, hopefully you can see this. So if you go into, the only way to get it to come up is to hold down for your customize your quick controls. You've now got fart in there. So if you hold that, drag it up in place, save, you've now got fart controls on your phone app. So that's probably good if you wanted to hide it from someone or hide it from the driver, and change that on the app while they're driving and get it to do it. So if you wanted to secretly do it, I don't know. I'm not one who uses the the fart controls a lot. So someone that does might find that amusing and an easier way of doing it. So all of these are going to be useful for someone. Okay, always rainbows. This is what we spoke about. If you're a Mario Kart fan, you can have that shown there all the time. So the other thing, there's some undocumented changes. We'll just have a run through those. So one thing that doesn't apply to this car is the Steam game platform. I had a Steam account years ago with games, so yeah, that'd be quite good. But the thing is, I don't often get time to play games in the car because they charge so quick. Everyone's like, oh, you know, you got Netflix to watch while the car's charging, but if you're supercharging, I mean, you'd barely get through the opening credits of a movie by the time the car's finished charging and you've got to go to the next spot. So I haven't really used that much at all. Sometimes if I'm parked waiting for the kids, I'm picking the kids up or whatever, I'll be playing some games. But yeah, it would be nice to have the Steam thing. I think if you were camping or you were waiting around in your car for a while, it's nice to kill some time, so it'd be good to do that with some better games. So the other one was the MyQ garage controls. Now that isn't available here in the cars, in the Australian cars. I think maybe if you had the HomeLink thing set up in the car, they would unlock it. But as you can see here, if I go to locks, I don't have HomeLink or MyQ login or anything there, so that may just be here in Australia. It's not you know, it was saying available worldwide for that one, but as the undocumented. But yeah, it doesn't work in the Australian ones. That's not there. So that may be something Tesla need to unlock for you if you have the HomeLink installed in your car, which I think was $450-500 or something. So pretty expensive garage door remote. I just keep my remotes down in the center console here, easily accessed. So what else we got? Zoom. Yeah, we don't get Zoom, haven't got Zoom here in Australia yet. Zoom calls. What was the other undocumented one? Yeah, the navigation user interface has changed. That was the only other one that I haven't mentioned. I was looking how long it was going to take to get to Port Macquarie. So here, this navigation interface. So you've got now the cards on here are split up and you can't really move them around. You can only sort of expand them. So this is now more your sort of trip, destination time, travel time here. You have the navigate on autopilot. You can turn that on or off. Distance to your next destination. And then you can, it shows your next destination there and how much charge you will have when you get there. You can then do all your usual trip settings here, or you can close that down. So they've split that up. But the thing I really like, because I've got poor vision, is that is now bigger. So the print here is now much bigger. We can expand that. We can just touch there now and then get the overview. And you can scroll down the bottom here and you've got, you know, your usual old screen, but it's giving you duplicate information here. But it will give you your total destination to the end there, what time you would get there and things. So that's quite good. I think that's a much clearer setup there. And you can go back to this screen here. So yeah, I think that's quite good. I don't know whether there were any other changes made in the background with how that operates, but that to me looks a lot better. It's much cleaner. You can just cancel that trip, and yeah, we've got, yeah, it's such a good navigation map area there. Okay, now Apple Music. So Tesla make this just as easy as some of the other apps. So all you need to do is get out your camera, scan the QR code. It will then take you to this and ask you to sign in and use Face ID if you have the password remembered. So I've now logged in on my phone, and within a few seconds that should log me in okay. Well, once I click allow, so I had to click allow on my phone first. And yeah, it's now logged in, so you can go to library, you've got radio stations, you can browse. It says listen now, so it gives you top picks. So see, I've got a mix here of punk rock, electronic music, Yeah, got quite a, as I said, a broad taste in music. So anyway, that's all here. The only thing I don't like, so what we could do is put a song on. So there's now a song playing here. So once you've swiped that away, this is the only thing I don't like, is you now click on here, get that to come back up. It wasn't doing that before. I think if you go through a couple of songs, yeah, it's not doing it for me right now. But once a little bit of time passes, and not much, once you go back in, it doesn't just show you where you were. It takes you back to this screen. So you can't just then go and browse where you were at. And if it's not something that you had saved here, then you're going to need to go back into your search and try and find it there. So it's a little bit buggy at the moment, but that always happens when something first gets released. Spotify still actually isn't a perfect system in the Tesla. So yeah, so the search here is great. It gives you a lot of different things when you search, and you can now see it shows you Apple Music search results. So I'm still going to stick with Spotify, no big deal. And I think if you use Apple Music, give it a go and see if you like it. If not, you can just always still Bluetooth from your phone to the car and listen to your Apple Music that way. So, okay, let's go and have a look at the Rainbow Road and the auto lane change. All right, so we're just here in a 90km/h zone. So I have Rainbow Road set to come on all the time, every time I use autopilot. So click the car in autopilot, and you can see here you get that pretty cool Rainbow Road. If you're a fan of Mario Kart, that's great for about 20 minutes of driving, and then it just sits in your peripheral vision there, scrolling through. Now, the faster you go, the faster the rainbows go, just like in the game. So I'm a great fan of Mario Kart. I love it. It's probably not something you'd like to leave on all the time. Bit of a novelty, so that's quite good. The auto cancel for the indicators. So if we see here, I change lanes, automatically turned off once I went into this lane. Okay, so coming up here further, there is a right-hand turn lane, and I'm going to indicate. We'll go into this right-hand turn lane, and see there it keeps the indicator on. So that is quite good, because it realizes that I'm in a right-hand turn lane and it's left the indicator on, even though that maneuver would have looked very similar to a lane change and might have tricked the system. But if there are other cars around in front of you when you do that maneuver into the right-hand turn lane and it doesn't see the arrows on the road, I find it often turns, it'll automatically cancel the indicator when you really want to keep it on. So that's something just to be careful about. Now, also when you're changing lanes, initially you're used to cancelling it, and so you can often accidentally put your indicator back on again, and that'll happen for a little while, then you get used to the auto cancel and it's no big deal. And I find it's actually a handy little feature. So what I'll do further down is show you where else that auto cancel indicator can be annoying. I'll just jump in this right-hand turn lane here again, give you another demonstration. So I also wanted to make this video just to explain, I've been having a bit of trouble making videos. When we're away in Thailand, I got a couple of videos done for you guys before I went away on holidays to Thailand. And while we're in Thailand, luckily on the last day, I had some stitches taken out of my eyes before I went to try and improve my vision. And for those of you that missed it, in one of my other videos, I've had both of my corneas transplanted. So they're a full depth cornea transplant in both eyes. So they're totally relying on sutures to hold those corneas in place and keep them in the right shape. So As it heals up, things change and they need to remove stitches to get an even tension across my cornea to give me good vision. And I've really struggled the last few years. So I had one eye done about 3 years ago, and I had my right eye done last year, and I've just really struggled with my vision a lot. And it gets really difficult to sit in front of a laptop screen or even any sort of computer screen and edit videos. So I can find that really, really difficult, and that'll be sometimes why I struggle to get these videos edited. Tonight I made this video to hopefully it won't need much editing. But while we were away on holidays, I had a stitch pop on the last day, and it was like having a couple of grains of sand in my eye constantly. I wasn't very comfortable, and it was the last day we're coming home from Thailand. Jetstar ended up making that a horrible trip back, so I had to put up with the discomfort of that for a couple of days when it should have really just been overnight trip back. Waited at the hospital for 6 hours to try and get it sorted, and eventually got the broken stitch taken out. And then I went to the doctor yesterday and had a checkup, so to map out the cornea and have a look at how that changed the shape of my cornea. And he ended up taking 3 more stitches out to get the shape of my cornea correct. And now my vision is great. But it's always a couple of weeks after stitches get removed before you notice where your vision is going to stabilize at. So while my vision's quite good now, it could go either way. It could get even better or it could get even worse. So that's all up in the air at the moment. So this weekend I'll try, well, obviously not Christmas Day, but I'll try and get some videos edited tonight while my vision is actually pretty good. And yeah, so just thought, look, I don't want it to be a sob story. It's actually pretty good. My quality of life is great. It doesn't stop me from doing much. The vision actually, you know, I'm still allowed to drive. I can pass a driving, you know, a vision test, but it can give me some sort of doubling effect on things and makes it really difficult to read fine small print. So that bigger navigation lettering, it just makes things so much easier for me. I can glance down and have a look how far it is to the next turn and navigate. Makes it a lot easier. But I really find editing on the computer very, very difficult. And that's why I've struggled. I've probably got another 4 or 5 videos that are just in the editing stage at the moment. So hoping to get those finished soon. I've got one where I've got the bike on the roof and looking at freeway driving and see how that affects economy. I've got a couple of mountain biking videos to do. I've got a phantom battery drain video that I've done when we're in Thailand. Having a look at what phantom battery drain there is after being away for 2 weeks and the car not plugged in. And yeah, so I'm looking to try and get them done soon. So I'm going to finish this video off, and I will do it with I'll turn into this street down here. Okay, so what I want to do here now is get into the left lane and then turn left into a side street. Now, it's okay, like if I got over now with plenty of time to turn into that side street, we would be okay. But if I leave it to last minute, which I'll try and do here. Okay, so I will do the lane change here. It's cancelled my indicator, but I want to turn here, so you've got to remember to put the indicator back on. That's my only complaint with the auto cancel. So yeah, and look, that's a small thing, and it's just a part of getting used to that. Guys, look, I'd also like to just wish you a happy holidays. I guess we've got, I've probably got people of all different religions watching this, so yeah, so, but you know, in our family we celebrate Christmas. We've got the Christmas tree and everything. Everyone comes around. I get to see a lot of family on Christmas Day, and it's quite fun. So whatever you're doing over this holiday break, have fun, stay safe, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. We'll hopefully get some videos out to you before the new year. So yeah, look forward to it, and I'll catch you next video.